Drag racing fans, Lee Craft here. We are live, PRI Show 2022 in the great city of Indianapolis. Hey, if you would, dive into the comment section. Let me know that you can hear me. I'm always concerned when I'm trying some other setup than just being at the computer. So let me know that you can hear me, and I'm not just a talking head, though I am a talking head, but that you can hear this talking head, because we've got some cool people lined up for today, tomorrow, and Saturday, the last day of the 2022 PRI show. Today, we've got Ida Zetterstrom on all the way from the Åland Islands over there in Europe, FIA top fuel dragster competitor. We had her on earlier in the year, but I'm looking forward to having her once again get an update and see where her season ended and also see where she intends to go for 2023. Then, after Miss Zetterstrom, we're going to have Buddy Hull on. Buddy Hull will have a huge, we're talking huge announcement later today at the NHRA stage at 2:45 p.m. Eastern Time. We're going to get him on, chat with him about the 2022 season, and maybe we can get just a little bit of him to allude about what he's going to be talking about at the NHRA stage here at the PRI show. If you are not here, you're not one of the cool kids. I'm sorry. I'm glad you're watching, but this is the place to be. You need to be right here watching this show live at PRI. That's what you need to be doing. We're going to dive in some drag news here very, very soon. I do want to say thank you to Scott Performance Wires out of Mooresville, North Carolina. They do high-end performance wires, spark wires for nearly any application that you can imagine, from your LS swap to the Southeast Gassers Association, such as the Chick Magnet A-Gas champion Leslie Horn. His ride uses Scott Performance Wires, all the way up to the nitro burners. I got word that apparently they supply the plugs for John Force Racing as well. So Scott Performance Wires, you need to check them out. They're the highest quality wire that you can get in motorsport out of Race City, USA, Mooresville, North Carolina. So very quickly, we're going to take a break and go into drag news. Very quickly, because I got Miss Zetterstrom over on the other side. We definitely want to talk to her. Drag news. Big news has been dropped this week. Highlights. What big news it is that Elite Motorsports is adding to their stable, and Richard Freeman kind of getting back to his roots to some extent, going mountain motor pro stock racing. That includes Erica. That includes Richard Freeman. They're going to go mountain motor pro stock drag racing. Will debut at the World Series of Pro Mod in March down there at Bradenton Motorsports Park, the big drag race that will be happening. They're going to debut there, run the NHRA. Have not heard word, but I hope they're going to run PDRA as well. Many of you know Jim Campbell is out of the ride at Big Jim Dunn Racing. We learned today who is filling that seat. He keeps reinventing himself, whether it's a door car, whether it's a top fuel dragster, pro mod, pro stock, the no prep kings, whatever. Alex Laughlin is going to go funny car racing in 2023 with Big Jim Dunn Racing. That is some huge, exciting news in the world of drag racing. So much will be dropping this very week, these 3 days at the PRI show 2022. Well, look, without any further ado, we're going to take another break, transition. We're going to get Miss Zetterstrom on and chat with her. She's got a busy PRI 2022 and is chatting it up all across this green, yellow, and every other hall that is here at the Indiana Convention Center. So right after the break, Miss Zetterstrom. If you own a beautiful modern muscle car like this 1320 Challenger, I'm sure you don't want it stolen. Because the Challenger and many other modern vehicles have an easily accessible neutral release strap. That was your coin holder in your center console, and beneath that there's this red cord that someone can pop, put it into neutral, and potentially easily steal your car. But at Destroyer1320.com, they have the TDS theft deterrent system, which is a cover over that strap using factory mounting points so that you don't get popped by a thief. So make sure to go to destroyer1320.com using promo code MMR for 15% off and get your theft deterrent system TDS and steal the thieves' hope. Between the Slicks, live from the PRI Show 2022. We're here at the Scott's Performance Wires booth 2211. Along with me is Ida Zetterstrom. Good to see you again. Saw you at the U.S. Nationals. We had you on the show right here between the Slicks earlier this year. You were up in the middle of the night at that time. So we're able to all be on the same schedule right now. That's good. That's good.
I'm a little jet lagged, so like if I'm losing words, it's just because it's middle of the night or something for me.
Hey, jet lag is real. Jet lag is real, ladies and gentlemen. And so I do have a guilty pleasure concerning your social media. Anytime that you are traveling, I'm thinking to myself, oh, I've got to watch what happens to Ida, because it seems like you have these odysseys of travel. You even had delays and issues this time. So what was the trip like over?
The trip was long. It was like a 22-hour trip with 4 flight changes. First flight I was on, we were only 3 people. I was the only one that had checked in luggage, but somehow the bag got lost. But got it last second. I landed on the next airport at 20 minutes for the next flight to go. I thought, how big can this airport be? But, we landed on A12. We were flying out from E135, so it was a sprint. But I made it to New York, and I was going to do a flight change there. I had a 4-hour wait. I went up to the counter, and I said, I see there's a flight, leaving in 2 hours. Could I get on that one? And they said, yeah, sure. I said, will my luggage go with me? And she said, I can't promise that. I said, okay, I'd rather wait to make sure because I need the luggage.
Yep.
When I was going to board, the flight to Indy, something came up on my phone. Like my flight was somehow not scheduled as it should be. I talked to them and they said, no, all is fine. I see her. But I asked them, do you have my luggage? And they said, no, there's no luggage. I asked her, where's the luggage? And she looked and she said, it went on the flight 2 hours ago. So yeah, but I made it here. It's never an easy ride when I go travel. It's like, I know that I'm usually the problem when we're traveling. I don't know why, but somehow stuff happens. But hey, I'm here, so and my bag is here. So the bag broke, but other than that,
well, she got here, and look, I'm telling you, if you want hilarity over social media, follow her when she travels. It happens every time. So I'm sorry, but when all that stuff happens to you, I am laughing as I watch you go through that.
I can make someone happy with it. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing else you can do. You just have to laugh. So.
Right. So over in Europe, best airport. I have only been to Heathrow. That's the only one I've ever been into. Yeah. But your most favorite airport in Europe?
But for me, it's basically Arlanda, since I fly out from there so often. It's one in Sweden, so I know it. I know where all the gates are, and I know where everything is. So that just makes it easy and a little less trouble, usually. So, yeah, that's the best one for me.
Hey, flying out of the home airport, knowing it well and how everything works, especially if it's a good airport. I miss Raleigh-Durham International.
Okay.
I've lived in Roxborough, North Carolina for a while, working with Strutmasters. Thank you, Chip. I appreciate it. But it was just a great airport. It was so nice to fly in and out of. And now I got to fly out of GSP. Come on, GSP. You got to step it up. Let's go. Step it up. But beyond flying, you do a lot of flying on the track because you are the quickest lady in Top Fuel, right? Technically not the fastest. You don't get the mile per hour, right?
No, we don't get to miles per hour. Okay. But we do have the European record. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. So quickest lady over there in Europe. And this year, abbreviated season for what typically is European drag racing. Only 3 or 4 rounds of racing, right?
Yeah, we have 4 rounds of racing. It was going to be a 6-round deal from the beginning, but it got shortened down, and we only made it to 4. And then we had made a show run in Norway, and then we had some testing at the beginning of the year, which was really good. But other than that, yeah, short season.
Short season, and over the season, not only yourself, but a lot of the European drag racers, you all had some epic hurry up and wait. It was insane. I think it hit y'all at Sanapon. I think I saw some at Hockenheim, but weather was a fight, it seemed like, this season over in Europe.
Yeah, the last race at Sanapon, that was, I mean, I talked to people that's been doing this for 40 years, and they said this is the worst it's been. I think I had waiting, for second pair in the lineup for 8 hours before we went out with the Top Fuel. for first round. So now we only came down to having 2 qualifying runs, which one of them they had issues with the timing system, so I didn't get a time either. So we only got 1 run, and we had issues getting down. Everybody had issues getting down. It was a ridiculous ladder for race day, to be honest. But yeah, no, that was a hard one. It was super hard one.
So going down to the last race, from what I understand, following the points and everything, you definitely had a shot for the championship. And qualifying hurt going into eliminations, and it was almost a winner-take-all type scenario of who basically had passed first round. Break it down for us what it was like winning the last race, what the stakes were, and how was the outcome.
Well, the thing was, when we left Tier, we had the championship lead. But going into Hockenheim, I only got 2 runs of qualifying in Hockenheim too. It was kind of a hard race. We had a great start in the first elimination round, but got beating at the stripe because we lost a blower belt. And yeah, it was just like one of those really tight races. So yeah, we had a tough first round loss there, and with only 4 races in a championship, 1 first round loss that could basically just break your whole season. We don't have that many races to catch up, so I lost the points lead. I was second in points coming into Santa Pond for last race. We basically knew we had to pull off the impossible and be number 1 qualifier. We had to win the event, and we did have to probably set a new European record to get those points too, to be able to claim the championship, because we were that much behind. But we saw that there was an opportunity, but then when it rained, as soon as it started raining and our runs got cancelled, and then when we had the run where they had timing system issues, we didn't get point for that one. We just saw it slip through our fingers. So yeah.
Oh, that's heartbreaking. That is heartbreaking.
Yeah.
But it was there, so looking forward 2023 over in Europe, sure, you're going to be a championship contender. And what is it looking like for you partner-wise? Can we expect the same partners? Can we expect the same team, things of that nature for what is coming up in 2023? And do they expect to get more races in over in Europe?
Yeah, we have a schedule of 6 races. 5 races. So we're hoping to have all of those 5 races. Of course, there's nothing else changing, and we are expecting car counts to go up, because we have heard from teams that sounds like they're coming out for the full season. So that's awesome for us. I mean, I'm hoping we could at least get an 8 letter together. Hopefully a little more cars than that even. But hey, I'm glad for whatever we get at the moment. We really need it. But I'm going to be at the same team with Runefjeld Motorsport and my crews over there. Partner-wise, everything is not finalized yet, but I have most of the partners I have. They will all come with me for this year, but they might change a little bit in size and so on. And I have a few new ones that might pop up in the beginning of the year too. So it's an exciting time.
Glad that is exciting. We are going to definitely talk about her stateside in a few moments. But before we do, I love the atmosphere at Hockenheim. I have got to get over there eventually. Talk to me about their night under fire, or whatever they do. It's almost like light show nitro.
Yeah.
So talk to me about drag racing under that environment. It's so cool over there.
Yeah, I mean, Hockenheim Ring to start with is a really cool facility, and it's the same track that they run the Formula 1 races at and so on. And when we run, basically the grandstand goes up like this, so you kind of see people just everywhere when you pull in, and it's spectacular. They have huge crowds, and the night show that they do there on Saturdays it's definitely a big one, and it's always jam-packed on the grandstands and also in the pit area afterwards, because people are after the event, they walk down, they want to see everybody trashing at night to get ready for elimination the day after. So I can't understand how many people we had in our pit, because when you looked out, it was just, you couldn't see anything else than just people everywhere. But no, it's fantastic. I ran the night show. It's definitely night. It's pitch black. You don't really have anything lit up. You have the fireworks going after you, and then you have like a little bit of light in the end of the track. But when you come out, or come off the throttle, there's a good while before you see anything, like any lights come up. So for the drivers, it's definitely something new. I hadn't done it before. But yeah, for the people in the grandstand, it's fantastic. They have everything from jet cars, top fuel, bikes. They have usually some juniors. They have like a junior drag bike guy doing burnouts with his hand in air. Like, it's really cool. And they always have some sort of special cars too that they want to, showcase. We had Eric Tabul there with, his rocket bike.
Okay, yes.
So he's had a new record then, and then he smashed it again. You know, when he came to Singapore. But yeah, no, it's definitely a cool deal. And like, if you really love that type of how to say, like, spectacular things, just have to make it over to Hockenheim.
I got to go to Hockenheim. You need to go to Hockenheim. It needs to be a drag racing pilgrimage as a drag racing fan. I mean, because you got to get like the Winter Nationals in Australia. You've got to do like Winter Nationals here and U.S. Nationals, Santa Pa, Hockenheim.
Yeah.
Those are some of the top ones. And personally, I want to go to like Thailand and see their drag bike racing. It's just completely insane.
Yeah.
Well, folks, PRI Show 2022 here at the Indiana Convention Center. We're here at the Scott Performance Wires booth. Ida Zetterstrom, FIA Top Fuel competitor. Let's talk 2023 U.S. drag racing. We know you want to get here.
Yeah.
How's it looking?
I'm working on trying to make a race or two at least next year. I don't have anything done yet, but I am talking to a few people, and we'll see what we can do to maybe add it maybe in the end of our season over Europe. I'm open to different, opportunities, and I would love to do more than 2 races if the possibility is there. But that's what I'm working towards. That's what I'm hoping for. I know I saw an article that had spun a little bit up there. It sounded like I had a deal that was going to be over here full time next year. I wish I could say I did, but
it's weird how those things take off, isn't it?
It's a little bit, like when you whisper something in one person's ear, and then after a while it's like, oh, she has a whole team.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, I appreciate that they want to see me over here and that they're writing about it. And one day I do hope that I will have a team that I can race with over here. But yeah, I'm gonna be running with my boys over in Europe, and I'm gonna hope to make it over here to try and do some events.
Well, those are definitely good goals. At least 2 races. Try to get that done, and the licensing process.
I do have since I already have a license. The license is transferable, so I don't have.
Good. We got an answer to that.
So I mean, if someone needs someone to jump in, yeah, I'm here.
Hey, Nitro Chaos competitors, Afiel Dragster, get her in one. Look, you need to experience American drag racing at Mocan Dragway out in the middle of nowhere in Missouri near the Kansas border. It is completely different than like U.S. It's a good difference, but it's completely different. We need to get you there.
Yeah, I mean, I did, when I raced the bike, I did race over U.S. once, and it was, a goal of mine to race in U.S., and now I definitely want to work my way over here with top fuel stuff. But also, I mean, I love the things we get going in Europe too, so it's definitely interesting. Our seasons are so short in Europe, so that's the thing. I want to be just the best I can be, and I need seat time. I want to be able to make more passes. I don't want to be out of the seat from September 1st to the last of May. That's too long. I want to stay on it, and this is the way I think I'm going to be able to work that in. So.
Yeah, I'd imagine as a driver, it definitely does feel hard to stay sharp because there is such a short window in Europe for drag racing. You got a short schedule.
Yeah, and also like when we did 4 races, when you're into your 4th race, you're kind of starting to feel like you're on it.
Right.
And then they're like, yeah, well, just hurry up, sit there and wait for like 9 months, and then you can do it again. So it is the hard part for us. And also with the like we talked about, the small amount of races, the performance is so crucial on every event, to pick up points in every qualifying, to do well at everything you do, because there's no room for mistakes. There's nothing like, you can't wait for points to reset, or you can't wait for, we'll have 16 more races to catch up. Like, no, if you have a first round loss, you probably lost the championship, and that's a hard thing to know. But
right, you are not only are you in half the countdown because of the number of races, but you are even less because you have less cars.
Yeah,
much more challenging.
And that's the thing that people don't think about. Like this year, when we were so few cars, you couldn't even pick up that many points because you couldn't go that many runs.
Right.
So it's like a good event for us was that we could have like 3 runs or 2 runs. Like for me, when we were out and it was 4 or 5 cars, I mean, we don't want it like that. We want more cars, but it's also like, everybody that's racing over there that really wants it, we can't just sit down and say, I'm not going to run until there's more cars. That's not how it works.
Right.
Everybody has to get out there and do their part. And yeah.
Challenging.
What we got.
Challenging over in Europe. And so I know we've talked about America. Obviously, you're doing the drag racing in Europe. Any aspirations down under, Australia?
I haven't thought about it. I mean, we do watch the racing over there, of course. I have to say I don't have any connections over in Australia, but of course, if someone would call and say there's a ride, I'll on a flight. But but yeah, I haven't worked my way over there. Like that's not something I'm working on currently, at least.
Because I've always wished, you know, we see this in the dirt track world in the United States of America. If you win this big race and this big race and this big race, it kind of is like a multiplier of wins and a triple crown, if you will, even like they do in horse racing. And I would love to see, because drag racing, whether you go to Australia, Thailand, Europe, United States of America, wherever, drag racing is very similar.
Yeah.
No matter what distance you're doing, it's very similar. And it would be cool to see someone mark on their list, I got to win Santa Pod, I got to win the U.S. Nationals, and I got to win the Winter Nationals in Australia and have those crowns.
Well,
that would be cool.
Talk to Tommy Johnson Jr. He's basically done that. I think he's run almost every track in Europe. And I think he's been in Australia and he's been here. So, I mean, that guy can cross it off. But, I mean, that's a cool accomplishment to have.
Yeah, it'd be cool to see. It'd be cool to see. Work on that, okay? Put that to your list and work on that. So, when you go to the United States of America, Indy, you're here a good bit out of many other places, though I know you visited, you know, for the Gator Nationals and other national events. When you come to the central part of the United States of America, Indianapolis, what do you look forward to? What do you want to go eat? Where do you want to go do shopping? Or what's on your list beyond racing?
Well, I came in late Tuesday, and on Wednesday we went down by the shops, and I visited Salina's shop and talked to those guys. We went out to lunch, so that I had a great time with them, and just did some errands around the Brownsburg area. I actually met up with Rune that owns my team, because he was here parts shopping, so I was able to catch him before he left for Carolina to do some more shopping. But then basically this is where I put my full focus. I'm going to be at the Drag Illustrated party later tonight. So that's on my list. But other than that,
You good dancer?
Oh no, I was about to say a bad word, but not. In Sweden, we have a song that's called "I Never Dance Sober," and yeah.
Hey, that's me. I found that out last year. You get enough liquid in me, I dance.
Oh, yeah, no, not a great dancer, but I mean, I do enjoy the atmosphere and everything. So, and I do enjoy meeting people, both people that I haven't seen in a good while, and then new people, of course. That's the whole thing. I want to be here, making connections, seeing friends that, you know, just putting faces to names that you have been emailing with or talking to, and then you basically haven't seen each other. So that's what I really, really enjoy when I get to.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, Ms. Zetterstrom, I hope PRI goes great for you. I know you've got a lot, many more appearances. We're going to let you go. Thank you for your time right here on Between the Slicks, Scott Performance Wire. And tell everybody where they can follow you, because you got some cool things going on social media. Just like our YouTube channel, you can see that video from in-car of her. Drop where people can follow you.
Yeah, well, I work a lot on my Instagram. So my Instagram is dragsterFIA. You find me there, or you search for Ida Zetterstrom, it will pop up. But then I'm also working more on my YouTube channel at the moment. So after this event, I'm going to drop a video where we pick up our Camaro. We have a 68 Camaro that's been in a barn for a while. And that's going to be a fun project that we're working on. Going to do a LS swap and put twin turbos on it, so hopefully people want to see that too on the channel. So that's something we're working on. And then of course you can find me on LinkedIn, Twitter, and Facebook, but it's basically Instagram and YouTube that's the main focus at the moment.
Awesome. Ladies and gentlemen, Ida Zetterstrom, FIA Top Fuel competitor, aspiring to get here to the States and compete in NHRA drag racing. Ida, thank you once again. As we say goodbye to her, ladies and gentlemen, hit the like button, hit the share button as we go to break. Power-Built Tools exemplifies innovation in the tool industry. From hand tools, power tools, and even tool storage. Check out powerbuilt.com for Power-Built Tools. And remember, use promo code MMR15 for 15% off at purchase. All right, a face that you all are familiar with right here on Between the Slicks, the A-Gas champion of Southeast Gassers Association, Leslie Horn. He's right here at Scott Performance Wire. Got the chick magnet on display. We've got many other Sega peeps here. So far, Leslie, this is your first PRI. What have you thought?
Man, it's been amazing. Like, I mean, it really it blows your mind. You know how much goes into setting one of these things up. And of course, Scott Wires invite me to come here. You know, they got the best performance wire there is out there right now. A lot of people don't even know it, but they're probably running wires under a different label. But anyway, I highly suggest somebody look at Scott Performance Wires. But there is a ton of the gasser guys here. We've got the rule. I'm excited stuff, Lee. The rules just got changed yesterday. I don't even know if you know it yet or not. But the rules come out yesterday. Quain's going to let the Camaros, 67 Camaros, in the gasser classes now, so they can build a Camaro if they want to build one. It does some rule changes on several different things. You might want to look at them. The clutch shift thing is going to be something that is going to be at your discretion. Drive how you want to drive. If you want to use clutch. If you don't, you don't. There's a lot of good stuff is coming. We got a lot of exciting things going on here. The car's been a big hit here. I mean, it's been swarmed the whole time it's been here. We're getting a lot of feedback, but we've also got another guy that's coming to run with us. We're really excited about. His name is Greg, and I know I'm saying his last name wrong. It's Stells. Out of Wisconsin, got a real high-end shop out there, builds real high-end cars and stuff. And so he's gonna come and run with us, and he says that he wants to be the baddest gasser there is, and so if he's going to be the baddest gasser he is, he's going to come run with us. So he's going to be driving all the way from Wisconsin to join us this year. We're excited about that. He's actually here. He's standing over here. I might let Lee say hey to him or something, let y'all meet him. But that's it. That's what's going on, man. It's just, I'm just excited to be here. Just excited. Glad you got to see me today. It just made your day like it has mine, I'm sure.
It has made my day. It has made my day. And even I saw how, you interact with the ladies with the chick magnet and all that.
It's the magnet. You can probably feel the magnet pulling
right,
towards me
right,
too.
Right. I was far more magnetized to Ida than you. Okay,
I could understand, that. But anyway, would you like to meet Greg?
Yes, let's meet Greg. Look, he's going to bring Greg on, one of the newest people to the Southeast Gassers Association. We're going to let him sit down, talk with him briefly. We also got Buddy Hull coming up very soon. Very soon we'll talk with Buddy Hull. Leslie, if you could find the big hulking guy hanging out here, I need him in just a few minutes. The guy with Buddy on the back of his hoodie there. So we're going to transition back to the wide camera. Greg is, let's see, it's
Greg Stott.
Stelz. Greg Stelz. Man, it is good to have you on right here at Scott Performance Wire to yak it up about the Southeast Gasser Association. And as you talk, I got some camera things to fix, but why the Southeast Gasser Association?
We've been following Southeast Gassers for a long time, and we just love what they do, and we figure that we have to be the best. We have to race against the best. And that's why we want to come kick the chick big's ass here is what we're hoping. We got to race the baddest, so, and we know he's heavy on our radar, and I just love what they do, and we can't be the best unless we race the best.
That's right. You can't be the man unless you beat the man. He's the man right now.
Yes, he is.
So you're coming to the Southeast Gasser Association. You want to beat the man. What are you going to bring with you to beat the man?
I got a 1957 Pontiac called the Joker.
Ooh, Pontiac.
We definitely will have everything set up to be able to run with them guys for sure. We never had an 8th mile gear in the car, so it's going to be very difficult for us in the beginning. But you give us a couple of races, and we'll be right there running with them. In my heart, I plan on winning right away. But that's a lot of trash talking there. But
it is. But hey,
we definitely are going to be ready for them.
It looks like you have the detriment though, and the mental fortitude that you could get it done.
Oh yeah,
you got the look anyway. I'll give you that.
100%. When you when you come into race against the best, you got to have that confidence to win.
You do,
no matter what. Everything that we do, we don't screw around. We go all in or forget it.
So I can see the patch, Greg's Speed Shop. Talk to me about home and work and trade, being a craftsman in the car culture, and what you all specialize in.
Greg's Speed Shop, we're one of the biggest custom car builders in the world. We only been there 4 years, so I did that in 4 years' time, built that facility. We know everybody in the game when it comes to the custom car world. We probably got 70 cars at our facility right now. Some of them are $500,000 builds. But I'm really focused on racing, so that kind of throws a wrench in the deal there. Nobody ever gave me anything in life I earned everything I have,
Yep.
just like I'm going to have to earn the respect from everybody
Sure.
in the Southeast Gassers. But we plan to come in there to win. And it's just like with my shop, we're winning what we're doing now. We got a lot of traveling. We know it's going to come up. That we're to be able to beat these guys. It's going to take a lot to do it. My wife behind me letting me do it. That helps. That helps a lot.
Definitely a lot of travel from the far north of Wisconsin
Yes.
that you're going to have to hail from to get to all of these Southeast Gassers Association races. Wisconsin, though, best part about it, obviously not snow, but what is the best part about it? What do you enjoy the most? Like, when someone comes to Wisconsin, what do they have to do? What do they have to eat? Where do they have to go?
Well, you got to eat cheese for sure. You have to go to Lambeau Field, 100%.
Lambeau.
Yeah. I mean, it's the baddest of the baddest there. So it's just something to see for sure.
I would assume you are a Packers fan then.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Do you own stock in the team?
No. I got a race car. I can't own this.
There you go. You got a race car. Well, look, it is definitely going to be good to see your addition in the Southeast Gassers Association and have some representation out of the far north, and definitely a man of your caliber and talent in it, competing against the likes of a Leslie Horn, and hopefully you can do some polar switching on that magnet, and the Joker will fool the chick magnet, and you pick up several wins and see how you do in Southeast Gassers competition.
That's what we're hoping.
All right. Well, thank you, man, for the time.
Yep, no
Thank
problem.
you.
He got the easy part done.
All right. Well, you can see the chair is open. We're going to take a break, and right after the break, we're going to get Buddy Hull on right here on Between the Slicks. The drag racing life and the RV life seem to go hand in hand like nitromethane and superchargers. And when you are traveling through the Lone Star State and you're needing work done on your RV, well, DFW RV Center is your star to contact. Back live, PRI 2022 Scott Performance Wire booth. That's booth 2211. Definitely come by and visit with them for all your high-end application needs for your spark plug wires. And I mean from the LS swap to the nitro burner, just like this man burns nitro routinely in top fuel drag racing. Buddy Hull, no stranger to Monday Morning Racer and Between the Slicks. Good to have you. How was the trip up to PRI?
Thanks for having me. I love PRI. I hadn't been in 4 years. COVID hit and kind of changed the dynamic here at PRI. And last year I was too busy. So first year back in 4 years. I think the thing I love about PRI the most is just seeing all my friends. We don't get to see each other in the off season outside of PRI. A lot of us live in different places, so that's always cool. And we get to see all the new stuff that's coming out. A lot of folks are waiting to showcase all their new stuff. And so it's always great to see all the new stuff that's rolling out. And so, yeah, it's great to be here. Thanks for having me.
Speaking of new stuff,
Yeah.
there is a big announcement today
Yes, sir.
with you, for you,
Yes, sir.
NHRA stage.
Yep.
Now, I don't expect you to drop it here. NHRA is definitely a bigger platform. But can you drop some hints, some clues? Can you allude a little bit? Can you shed some light on the situation?
All I'll say is it's such a large announcement. I've been working on it so hard. I'm probably going to need a cocktail afterwards.
Don't you need something to ease the nerves afterwards?
A little bit,
Yeah.
just a little. May have something in store.
Okay. He's definitely going to be mixing it up
Yes.
later
Yes.
on the NHRA stage. You can see that at NHRA.com. They're streaming live right now. Several interviews going on, but you need to stay right here with this interview and Between the Slicks with Monday Morning Racer live from PRI. But we also will see that streamed on his Facebook page. That's Buddy Hull Racing, so you can see it streamed live as well. 2022, several races. The feet are fully wet. Y'all just didn't go in. You might have, but now you're, at least up to the waist. You're fully in the water.
That's right.
Blew a bunch of stuff up,
Oh, yeah.
but had a lot of good runs. Had a lot of fun while doing it.
That's right.
Long nights, early mornings, but it was a good season, I think, overall for Buddy Hull Racing.
I agree. We really accomplished what we set out to accomplish, and that was training a new team, making sure that everyone understood their job and knew how to do it well. A lot of new parts in the mix, and being a new team owner and a second-year top fuel driver is something that it takes a lot of work. So there's a lot of work put forth, and I can't thank my guys enough: Tim Wilkerson, Richard Hartman, Daniel Wilkerson, David Schaff, and every sponsor I have as well. They're overly supportive this year and understanding of what we're trying to do out there. And there's a lot of independent teams, and we're definitely considered one of those part-time independent teams. But a goal of mine as a team owner was to, when we show up as a part-time team, to appear in every way it's not a part-time team, to appear as if though we are a full-time team in every way, with everything from how our car runs and not leaking oil on the track, to how our team is dressed and how they carry themselves, and the appearance of our pit area, and the representation for NHRA and all of our sponsors. It's a huge deal for me, and it's a lifelong dream for me to be able to obtain what I've obtained. And just to be clear, there's no way I can do it without everybody. And you would even be one of those people. I'm overly thankful, and I refuse to ever not recognize the fact that it's not because of me. I just get to lead the squad and hold the steering wheel for 30 seconds.
Well, Buddy Hull's definitely, and he's doing a lot of cool things in the world of drag racing. One cool move that you made there at the Fall Nationals at the Texas Motorplex, you brought out a pink rail. The solid pink had a nice pink camo look to it, a little black, gray in there, and white. And that program was to raise money for funds up near Baylor's operation for breast cancer. How did that go? What was the response like for that program from the Fall Nationals?
Incredible. And I'll start off by saying thank you to every single person who donated to the cause. We had a goal of $10,000. We exceeded it. We hit right at 14,000, and I went ahead and rounded it up myself and wrote a check for 15 grand. And so, what a great deal. Here recently, especially, I hate cancer. When I say hate, hate's a really hard word, but I hate it. I've recently lost my grandfather, and he was riddled with cancer. And another good friend of mine, he's fought off cancer a couple times, and for me to be able to use my hot rod as a platform to raise money for such a cool thing was incredible. And the car looked cool. We had so many little girls that loved my race car because it was black, white, and pink camo. So I think we achieved exactly what we set out to do. And we love it, man. We love being able to give back. It's a blessing.
Well, speaking of giving back, I also was able to learn at that event you sponsor a junior dragster driver.
Yes, I do.
And that junior dragster driver did some filling in at a fan fest and rewarded quite generously. Yes. So break down the partnership with this particular young lady and what happened at fan fest.
Yeah. So I sponsored Jordan Dotson. She is a local to me in Dallas, Texas. And we met her at the racetrack while testing one of our crew guys' fuel filter, and she just couldn't get enough of hanging around us, and she just loves racing. And I found a genuine interest in her. I see her true love and passion for drag racing, and they didn't ask me to sponsor; I asked to sponsor. And so that's how our relationship started. And anywhere locally that we're at drag racing, we always invite Jordan, and she's became a part of our team. And FanFest there in Dallas, we took her with us, and old Scott Palmer didn't show up, right? Yeah, I was supposed to be sitting next to Scott, and so he didn't show up. And I looked behind. I said, "Jordan, get your butt up here." So I sat in the seat next to me, and I flipped Palmer's little name tag around and took my pen and wrote Jordan Dotson Junior Dragster on it. And she sat there in line with all the pro drivers and signed autographs. And I love breaking the rules like that. I mean, when I can break the rules like that, I'm gonna every single time. I don't know anybody in the room big enough to tell me I can't do that. And that's how I am. And so the story continues on. So I told Scott what had happened, and he got a real kick out of it. Well, he was very generous to her, and for taking his place, he also wrote her a check. And so now Jordan Dotson is sponsored by 2 NHRA top field drivers. So that's the story.
That is cool. It goes to show you yourself out there. You never know what might happen. Be willing to step up, get in the game, get off the sidelines, as it were. And Brown goes down to Bradenton Motorsports Park, hops in a door car. You have your own plans for a door car. What is in the works? What is Buddy Hole Racing cooking up?
Yeah, so we are building a really cool door car. It's a race car / street car. And my friend JD Campbell at Pro One Auto Sports is really one heading up the project. And we're super excited about it. You know, I've never really had a high performance street car. Always wanted one. Never really took the initiative to build one. And so meeting JD and him and I becoming close friends has allowed me to be able to kind of contract that out and with both of our heads put together something really cool. So we're building a 68 Camaro, small tire car. Of course, LS supercharged. You know, it's got to have a supercharger on new turbos. You know, it's the top fuel thing in me, and it's just going to be a really sharp car. You know, we plan on having some media and some drama behind it with Sick Week and Drag Week, which we're really excited about, and just having fun with it, man. We're super pumped about it. So I don't want to give anybody too many details because there's a lot of surprises on the car, and there's a whole lot of uniqueness with the car. And the only thing I'll say is I'm super. I had slated to paint it a certain color, and I've changed the color since my grandfather's passing. And we're going to paint his favorite color, which is candy branded red. So that was always his favorite color. He had a 34 Ford Phantom, and that was that color. And you know, if I asked him what color should I paint my Camaro, he would have said that. So I'm doing that for him. Yeah.
Door car racing, NHRA Top Fuel Dragster racing. Many people have remarked if I've done a live show from your shop or the shop tour, you've got a funny car in the works as well. Yep. But you are still involved in the nostalgia drag racing. You did some nostalgia drag racing, Havana, Illinois, earlier this year. That will be rolling out on my channel eventually. Whatever, finally get it compiled. But there is a short video you can see on his Buddy Hole Racing. So, any plans for stepping up possibly some nostalgia racing next year?
Yeah, oh, for sure. So, as you mentioned, we do have a Nitro Funny car that we're, you know, going to get buttoned up and have in our stable. No specific plans with it, but we're also working on a nostalgia Top Fuel program. So I have a lot going on, and if it weren't for all the good people that I have, we'd be able to do it. So there are some serious plans. You know, my number one focus will always be in the NHRA Top Fuel, you know, the big car, but nostalgia Top Fuel car is something I'm looking forward to. You know, really, in terms of drag racing in my career, nostalgia is my roots. You know, I've driven a lot of different types of cars at many different levels, but the truth is, nostalgia is my roots, and so I'm helping someone else fulfill their life dream through that car as well. It's not just mine. I have a partner in the car that really has a heavy desire to be able to fulfill that dream of being able to have his hands on a nostalgia Top Fuel car, and so it's a really cool deal. You know, I find that in my life, for me, there's always a backstory to why I do what I do. I'm not just doing something because I think it's cool or I want to do it. A lot of what I do, let me say this better. Practically everything I do has some significance with someone or something in my life and event. And that's one of the things that keeps me very motivated. So we're excited.
A lot of things going on at Buddy Hole Racing. Successful businessman, successful racer. Indianapolis. You've been coming to this town for a very long time. You don't live that far away.
No, 4 hours.
Right, not that far away.
Yeah.
What do you enjoy about Indianapolis outside of racing?
Oh, the food.
Enjoy going to
Are you
do?
kidding me? The food.
Food.
So
I still haven't got my steak.
every time we come here, I invite you to go to steak. You always got something.
I got something going on.
You know, I spent a brief stint in Indianapolis in corporate America, and I'm a foodie. You know, I love my food. So anytime we come back to Indy, I'm booking reservations a couple weeks out for all my favorite steakhouses. And so, and last night we went to Ruth Chris and had a sizzling hot fillet and nice dessert. It was an incredible meal. But I love Indy for the food. It's just a great culture too. You know, the drag racing community in Indy is super tight. And so we come to Indy, we get to hit 3 or 4 different shops. You get to see all my friends, and you know, it's really the mecca of motorsports. It really is. So I love coming to Indy.
Before we let you go, let's swing back to what will come out today. 245 NHRA stage today. Major announcement. Your thoughts, your emotions on what is going to be announced. How excited are you? How challenging has it been not to drop a bunch of news?
Yeah.
As big as it is.
Yeah. Anything great, the precursor to anything great is a lot of work. And so we've worked very hard at this. And not only is this great, but I think this is the beginning of a new future for my race team. I'm super excited about the partnership. I'm excited about the people in the partnership over anything else. The people that are involved in my partnership are people that I would, let watch my dogs for a week. They're just great people, and it's the beginning of a new era for my race team. This is going to open up a lot of other opportunities for us, and not just as a driver owner, but for my team members as well, which I'm super excited about. And it's a really neat sponsor. It's a sponsor that I'll drop another little hit here. I have a feeling that we're going to become a really popular pit area at certain times of the day and in certain races. I have a feeling there's going to be.
I imagine Scott Palmer will be next to you.
I think Scotty's going to want to pit next to me. And so we're excited about all of it. It's all a blessing, I sometimes say, I don't deserve the things that come my way, but I'm often been reminded, I work my tail off, and sometimes I work 18, 20 hours a day, and I'm willing to do whatever it takes. And so I guess we have earned it, and but we want to continue to earn it. We want to prove to all of our sponsors that we're worth it. That I'm worth it as a driver, worth it as a team, and that it's a mutual benefit and relationship. It's not a sponsorship; it's really a relationship. And so I'm excited. I can hardly wait to tell the world. So.
Folks, that's Buddy Hole Racing, NHRA top fuel driver, and much more in the racing world as well. We're here at Stock Performance Wire, the PRI 2022 show. Buddy, thank you for your time. I'm going to take a break. As I take a break, we'll see if we can get Quain Stott on and talk to him briefly here on Between the Slicks live at PRI.
Power-Built Tools exemplifies innovation in the tool industry. From hand tools, power tools, and even tool storage. Check out powerbuilt.com for Power-Built Tools. And remember, use promo code MMR15 for 15% off at purchase.
Scott, Performance Wire, big supporters of the Southeast Gassers Association and the head honcho himself, Quain Stott, right here live on Between the Slicks at PRI. First of all, Quain, dude, congratulations.
Thank you, buddy.
You're being inducted into the North Carolina Drag Racing Hall of Fame. It's about time.
I don't know. I've said to a lot of people that there's a lot of people I thought more deserving than me that needs to be in there. But I'll definitely take it. I'm proud, and I asked the guys. I said, "Am I in here because of my pro mod career or the Southeast Gasser thing?" And they said, "A combination of all the stuff you've done." So, I guess I have done a lot. I've tried to give back to racing as much as I took out of it, because obviously I made a good living for a lot of years racing. So, this Southeast Gasser thing is more of a give back. In the best way in the world you can give something back to any sport is to protect the history. So that's what we're doing. We're protecting history. But yeah, I'm mighty proud. I still kind of a little bit can't believe it happened. And, but yeah, I'm really proud of it.
I definitely have to agree with you about the protecting history or allowing it to be living history. I often say when I speak of Southeast Gassers Association Racing that it's drag racing reenactment.
Exactly.
In the real world.
Exactly.
It's under competitive situation, but and it's not match racing. It's not just, let's make sure we have a final round of 3 out of 2, but it is true competitive drag racing as close as you're going to get to what it was back in the day.
Exactly. I tell a lot of people it's like a museum, but on the racetrack.
Right.
The cars are actually competing. You go to a museum and
some of these tracks are these pieces. No.
yeah. But you're right. nobody has done a nostalgia deal with real true rules that keep the cars. I mean, we're even down to gauges. The gauges have to be right. So, and I tell people all the time, they say, well, why are you so strict? I said, well, if you're doing a reenactment of, say, the Civil War, would you let them be out there in modern day clothes and machine guns?
No.
Well, that's what a gasser to me looks like with well wheels on it, instead of a set of wheels like that car came out with, or an altimeter tack sitting up on the dash. How can that be authentic? I said, no, that we tried to get, and so that caused us to have 22 pages of rules. And then you add the fact that we race first to finish line wins.
Yeah.
A lot of these groups say we're racing like they did in the 60s. I've got a couple of groups that's even on their thing. It says racing like it did in the 60s, but then you read the fine print, they're bracket racing.
Right.
Bracket racing wasn't invented until the 70s.
Right.
So how can they be racing like it was in the 60s?
Right. So definitely doing drag racing reenacting at the Southeast gig.
So I want people to come to one of our shows and say, you know what, that looked just like it did back in the day.
Bingo.
We went as kids.
Bingo. Scott Performance Wires. They're a big supporter within Sega.
Big supporter. They pay contingency. They've supported us here with Leslie's car in the booth. You know, that we can't afford to have a booth to support Southeast Gassers at this point. So Mark from Scott Performance Wires gave us a spot in his booth to promote Southeast Gassers, and as anybody can see, it's been really, really popular today. I'm overwhelmed at the people that's come in and looking and say, hey, this is cool. One guy said, you see 55 Chevrolets all the time, but not a 55 Chevrolet like this.
For sure. The Chick Magnet is special, and also all the cars in the Southeast Gasser Association. They're special.
Exactly. Well, there again, the rules. It's funny. I had, the Southeast Gassers is made up of such a great group of people. The way it's unbelievable the class of people we have racing. And I was doing an interview here a while back, and somebody asked me, how do you put such a great group of people together? I said, well, it's simple. Make it difficult to do. You make it difficult to do. I could have 500 cars instead of 100 if I change a few things in the rules, but the quality of people and the quality of cars would go down. We don't want that. We'd rather have 100 quality cars than 500 that's not representing the 60s.
2022, we are several weeks away from the last race at Shadyside. Had some weather, had to complete it on another day than regularly scheduled, but nonetheless a good event, got it in the books, champions crowned. You look back over 2022, having several weeks to do that. Your thoughts on this season out of all the seasons Sega has had so far?
I think it's the best year we've ever had. The competitive racing was second to none. We had some fields of cars where the top 10 was within a few hundreds of each other. That's NHRA quality, especially with the rules we have and the fact that these guys are racing first finish line wins. So and we're talking big block Chevy versus small block Chevy versus Pontiac versus Plymouth. All this stuff is combined, and it's got the cars running that close together, and they're all competitive. And the spectator counts were just unbelievable. We're setting fan attendance records at these small tracks now. We've actually come close to breaking some records that the Street Outlaws set. That's huge. When you can come in behind the Street Outlaws with the big TV show and all that, and we're within 200 spectators a couple of times. What the Street Outlaws do. So, and that was this year's this proven that our spectator counts are going up. And next year we expect it to be even better because we're going to really start promoting hard next year. Because this thing it's grown legs now and it's took off.
Speaking of 2023, what are you anticipating season-wise? There's two doubles on the schedule.
Yep.
Shadyside, Knoxville, a new track down there in Gulfport.
Yep.
That's going to be happening. So interesting looking schedule, and it's a good looking schedule with some new additions and going to some old time favorites. 2023. What do you expect? What do you think? What are you hoping?
I think 2023 is going to be the biggest year ever. We're working on a lot of stuff that we're not ready to announce yet, but it's just for the Gulfport race, for example, down there in Mississippi. We got six cars in Texas. We have spectators that drive from Texas to watch our race. So we're trying to start breaking away and getting down that way. We still got a northern race in Ohio. So now we're going, one of the funny things is we totally named this deal wrong. Southeast Gassers, when we named this 11 years ago, it'll be 12 years next year. We had no clue. We thought it was going to be racing at Greer, Shadyside, and a few places like that. We had no clue it was going to do what it's doing. So it's still going to have to stay the Southeast Gassers, but we are getting back in the South with that, but we're trying to branch up north. Lee, I've got 22 racetracks on the waiting list right now begging for a show. Most of these other nostalgia groups are begging for racetracks. We got racetracks begging us, and it's because the spectator count is so good and it's getting so much attention. So I've got a couple of tracks in California, but we can't do it.
Right.
Maybe one day we can, but right now we can't. But going to Mississippi we're just trying to tap another market down there and see if there's a good market down there for us. If they are, then we'll branch on into Texas later, stuff like that.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's Quain Stott, the owner and promoter of the Southeast Gassers Association, also future inductee to the North Carolina Drag Racing Hall of Fame. Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
Quain, thank you for your time. Enjoy.
Thank you.
PRI, man.
And thank you for everything you've done, because you're one of the key factors that's helped the Southeast Gassers get where it is. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Quain. Appreciate it, man. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is Between the Slicks live from PRI 2022. I will be doing this tomorrow, Friday, and also Saturday, 11 a.m. to around noon. We'll be live with Between the Slicks. Tomorrow, you can expect a representation from Drag Champ. They talk a lot about bracket racing. We want to get the scoop from them of 2022 and bracket racing and what they expect in 2023. Also working it out, trying to get Lonnie Grimm on live here at Scott Performance Wires to talk about Factory X, NHRA drag racing. He is the NHRA National Technical Director. That very well may be the lineup for tomorrow, and no telling who else, as you have just already seen today. Leslie Horn, Greg Selsey, and Quain Stott, Ida Zetterstrom, and Buddy Hull. A jam-packed show here at PRI. Why? Because PRI is a jam-packed show in and of itself. Well, to each and every one of you out there, thank you for watching. And be sure to hit the like button for me, hit the share button, subscribe to the Monday Morning Racer YouTube channel. We will see you tomorrow from right here, Scott Performance Wires, booth 2211 at the 2022 PRI show. Oh, by the way, Competition Plus, the Power Hour. It will be going live soon, around 1 p.m., and the first guest is Scotty Cannon. Until next time, God bless, and keep the pedal to the metal.
Hero Soap Company is a veteran-owned establishment that produces all-natural, essential oils infused soap that is sold with a portion of the proceeds supporting other veteran groups. Hero Soap Company. Heroes supporting heroes. Be a hero yourself and buy a bar and let freedom clean.